Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So today we will be showing you this full back workout that you just saw a clip of just at the start. But first I just wanted to quickly go through the progress I've made with my coach in the last 8 weeks. I'm in the 9th week with him now and things are going great. And I'm definitely going to keep him on for a competition next year. So I'm just going to go through the pictures, the progress pictures, and I'll explain what Chris has been doing with me the last 8 weeks to get me these results. So the picture should hopefully be beside me and not blocking me out too much. First picture is the front on relaxed pose. I think this is one of the most obvious differences in body fat levels. You can see I go from basically having no abs to having a full six-pack. My quad separation is there. I'm massively happy with the difference in these two pictures. So in all of these pictures, believe it or not, the weight on the right, the after picture, I am half a kilo heavier than my starting picture. So in 8 weeks I've managed to drop my body fat down a considerable amount and put on muscle mass, and it's all thanks to Chris's smart dieting structure, and just each week he's just tweaked my diet here and there, changed some things until he's like really refined it for me, and it's getting me results really well. Next picture, the side on sort of twist. You can see here again I've lost a lot of visceral fat, but not only that, but I think you can actually see that my quad sweep has grown and that my calves have developed a little bit. Not to mention that my shoulder definition has improved a lot, so has my chest. Everything has just gotten more defined, and I've definitely put on a little bit of mass. I think my shoulders look bigger and more rounded now, despite not being on trend, just because of how good my diet is and my training's really on point. Getting enough rest now. So 2 rest days a week now, whereas before I was only doing 1, if that. I was training way too much, not really letting my body recover properly, not eating enough calories to recover. I think that's why now my weight's creeping up slowly, because it's actually able to put on muscle. Before I was doing way too much cardio, I was not eating anywhere near enough food, crashing my metabolism through the floor, and it was actually just causing me to put on fat weight and not really gain any muscle or shred anymore. This method we're doing now, I'm on way higher calories. I'm eating about 3,300 a day, 30 minutes of fasted cardio in the morning, either incline treadmill walking or Stairmaster, about 10,000 steps a day, and then just my 5 weight sessions, which we're changing up here and there. So yeah, the side shot, I'm really happy with how my obliques and stuff have come through. I'm quite lucky to have symmetrical abs, so the fact that I can actually see them now is great. Still lots of love handle fat, but we'll get to that in the next picture. So the back lat spread, you can see just how much more defined my whole upper back is. There's just so much less fat there now. There's still a bit of love handles hanging around. They really don't want to go on me, but in the next couple of weeks they should drop off. But overall I'm really happy with my back progression shots. I think they're looking pretty good. My lat spread I know is a good shot, like for sure. And my legs are thickening out gradually as well. So it's all gonna get there in time. I've got 6 months or so before a show. And I think I'll bring a good package to my first show, to be honest, especially with Chris at my side. He just knows his shit. Back biceps, here you can see a massive improvement in my back shot. Like, just losing that body fat makes me look so much bigger, but also you can see just how clearly my shoulders have massed up and my arms have gotten bigger, slightly bigger as well. I know the definition helps with that illusion, but my shoulders have actually added quite a bit of mass and traps, despite dropping trend. Like I said, I've been off trend now for half the time I've been with Chris. So 4 weeks I was on the low dose trend, and then I switched out to, because he told me he wanted me on a cruise until we're ready to contest prep. So I'm just doing 200 tests, 300 Primo bowling. The Primo is definitely helping in keeping me lean and dry. It's not a real muscle builder or anything, it's just to hold muscle mass while I'm dropping fat. And it is giving me some nice dryness and veininess. I'm really happy with Primo. I'm looking forward to running it properly in a contest prep. And last but not least, my side chest, where I think I just look dramatically bigger in my side chest in this picture comparison. You can see my legs have actually grown. My quad sweep's gone a bit bigger out, my hamstrings have improved simply from doing lots of sumo deadlifts and lots of other sort of leg focused. I'm really focusing on my legs, and it is working. It's just going to be a gradual process to get there. My upper body seems to grow crazy fast no matter what I do. Legs I have to put a lot more thought into, but they are now progressing decently too. So just in time, I know I'll have some really good legs. I've just got to keep working on it. But in terms of my chest and shoulder development, my arms, everything is looking so much bigger, so much tighter. Each week on this cut, I feel like I look bigger. My strength isn't dropping. I think it's because we've got the calories so high. Like, I just seem to keep putting on muscle mass even in a deficit. And the fact that my body weight is the same between these two, well, heavier in the right than these two pictures, shows that I am gaining muscle mass, okay? Both were taken fasted, the weight was taken fasted, so there's no mess around with the weight there. It's literally dropped fat, gained muscle in 8-week period. I'm very happy with how things are going with Chris. Dropped my cycle, the diet's on point, cardio daily like I said, and I'm getting stricter and stricter as the weeks have gone on, and my results are getting faster and faster now in terms of the body fat loss, which is the real focus here. I just want to get really shredded, and we're going to reverse diet out into a show sometime next March, April time, because that's when all the qualifier shows are. And it's just before my wedding, so like wedding prep, 2 in 1, you know, doubly motivated to be super in shape. So that is the plan. We're finally going to do one. I've got a coach who's actually really fucking good and knows his stuff now. There's no reason why I can't succeed. If I can't succeed with all this help behind me, then I'm fucked, right? And I'm very motivated at the moment to do this. So anyway, I just wanted to show you the progress I've made because I'm really happy with it. We will now jump into the workout. Sorry if I was rambling. Let's go. So this back workout was a thickness-based back workout. In my new training split, I have a thickness-based back workout and a width-based one. Very different setup to what I'm used to doing. I'm used to sort of more doing upper back, lower back style training. But this style, I'm willing to give Chris's Training Plan a go, and I really like this session. So the way it was different is there was no pull down motions in this whatsoever. So there was no lat pull downs or anything like that. It was all rows, and we started off with prone rows. So we did one warm-up set and then 3 working sets of prone rows with a 1 second squeeze at peak contraction, or at least it's supposed to be. You can see the tempo between me and Reese is slightly different. Reese is using the same weight as me though, to be fair, so it is tougher. 35 kilo prone rows, not that much for some people maybe, but if you're really squeezing the weight, you proper get the contraction, that lower lats, and you really get that squeeze in them by holding them there for a second. You just get so much more out of the movement. Also, pulling your chest off the bench as you do a prone row just gets even more contraction. So you can see in this set here, you can see I pull my chest all the way up, my head up, to really pull my spine and everything and contract my lower lats really hard. Hold the weight there for 1 second, get that tempo in. That holding it for 1 second makes the reps so much harder. So exercise 1 was 3 sets of 10 reps of this. I do like prone rows, I do them quite a lot, but I never do them first. So doing them first, I was able to use a lot more weight. My grip wasn't giving out, so I was really able to hold and squeeze for 1 second each rep. I really liked doing them first. It made a big difference. Second was barbell rows. We're using 100 kilos here. And again, we're supposed to try and get a decent squeeze each rep. Reese has a slightly different rowing style to me. He tends to get way more of a stretch and lean forward, gets a little bit more momentum than I do, whereas I try and keep my body fixed right in place and really isolate my back as much as possible. It's very different from like going powerlifter to bodybuilder styles training. Reese has always been one to move the weight as much as possible, and he's still getting into the habits of the squeeze, contract, and really trying to, so you can see the difference. I'm really not trying to use any momentum. Not that Reese was using much, but I'm really trying to get that squeeze in my back. I mean, even though I'm not holding the weight there for that long, I think my tempo is fine, and I checked with Chris and the tempo of all my exercises in these videos are fine. You can see my calves have leaned out a decent amount, my lower legs. I actually have some shorts now that don't completely cover my legs. You can kind of see some of the definition coming through. But you can see here with these rows, with these ones I was trying to hold it for a second just to get more of a squeeze, and then I started pumping out the reps. Holding it does get more contractions in, but also doing reps continuously is fine. It really depends on what your goal is. So in the plan for this, it didn't tell me to squeeze the reps, but I do still like to with back where I can. So we were aiming for the 10 to 12 rep range for 3 sets. So really a lot less sets than I'm used to doing, for back, but we were doing a lot more weight than I normally do. So normally I would barbell row 100 kilos at the start, maybe for 4 sets, but then after that my strength would drop off so much that I wouldn't be able to get much else in. So actually doing less sets but heavier, I found this back workout to be really effective, especially for thickness. Like my lats were just massively pumped for the whole session, more than I felt in a back workout in a long time. And it was only 4 exercises in this workout, but you know, it really did the trick. So next is seated lat row. So this could either be a cable or a plate loaded machine, basically a chest supported lat row, so that we're not using our lower back, as the last 2 exercises have engaged it quite a lot. So focusing more on the upper lat here, but still rows for thickness. So we did, this was 12 to 15 reps. So again, dropping the weight down this time, slightly more volume on the rows. You can do them single arm or both arm at a time. I personally prefer single arm rows because I find, generally speaking, on most machines I get a better stretch and twist, and then I also get a better contraction, just because of how you can sort of rotate your body and the way the seat's set up. But that's not always the case. Sometimes I do prefer the lat row machines 2 arms at a time. But again, when you jump to my clip, you'll see the slight tempo difference between mine and Reese's training, and it's just how I built up mass faster, because really just getting the contractions in, and there's all well and good doing loads of reps, but it's about how long the muscle's working for at the same time and how hard it's working. So I'm getting a stretch, squeeze for half a second, stretch. So Chris said my form on this was great. All I should do is slow the negative down even more, right? So I thought I was doing it nice and slowly, but slowing it down even more was his suggestion, just to make sure I really just activate as many fibers as possible and just do as much damage to the muscle as possible. So really with back, a lot of people go really wrong by putting way too much weight on and don't even engage their back muscles at all. It's all momentum, or speeding through it, or not contracting properly at peak contraction, not getting a stretch. There's loads of places people go wrong with back training. You see it all the time. Even in people who are pretty big, they still seem to train back wrong. That's why a lot of really good bodybuilders often have weak backs, is because they go really heavy with back, but they don't get the same contractions and stuff. It is really important, and bodybuilding shows are won from the back, which is why in my new training program I've asked Chris to write me in quite a back focused workouts, because I really want to get my back just massively dominant. My shoulders grow super easy, my arms have been developing nicely, and I just wanted to change my focus onto a body part that I've been neglecting a little bit since I got back into the gyms in April, which is back. So the finisher, as we did 3 sets of single arm rows, then the finisher was literally 2 sets of rack pulls with a really slow negative. Now these are nasty, like surprisingly difficult. So we go up fast, and then I was trying to do a 3 count down, so 3, 2, 1. And man, it stretches your traps out really nicely. The back muscle's already crazy pumped, so that negative is just ripping apart your back more than you realise. And you can see here the muscles working. I like getting leaner just because you actually see what body part you're working, and I find I end up training better as I'm leaner, because I'm looking in the mirror, I'm like, am I contracting properly? You know, it does make, even with your back, you can kind of use it as a guide. My grip strength ran out here though from all the heavy rows and stuff, which is why I started doing mixed grip. And then after that, next set I used straps, because we're going up in weight. So the first set was a set of, so set 1 is a set of 10 to 12, set 2 is 6 to 8 reps, so increasing the weight. So this is Reese's top set, the last one of, I believe, 180 kilos. So again, controlling that weight on the way down when you're holding that much is really hard. And both of our forearms were shot at this point in the workout. Recently I've tried to use wraps as little as possible, and my grip strength's gone up a lot. I never used to use wraps really anyway, but now I'm doing more heavy rowing movements. Rather than jumping for the wraps, I'll go for chalk now, especially with deadlifts. I'm also going with double overhand grip, trying to use my fat grips more when I'm training. I am really trying to work on my forearms because they're A, weak in strength, and B, weak in size. So that's something I'm trying to improve on both fronts. And I believe it's working quite well because normally I can do quite a lot. This is my max set. I didn't want to do 180 like Reese. I wanted to make sure I had the weight under control, doing that real slow negative, as you can see there. You know, when I'm told to do a negative rep, I do a fucking negative rep. Like, I'm listening to Chris's training plan and I'm just doing it exactly as is written. He knows what he's talking about, he knows what he's doing, so I think if I just follow his training and his diet, I mean, things are already going amazingly well. Faster progress than I've ever had before on the smallest cycle I've really done in a long while, so I'm super happy, and I'm just going to keep on going, listening to what he's saying. I'm improving week on week, I'm tightening everything up, I'm getting more and more disciplined. Honestly, things could not be going better. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and don't forget to like, subscribe, follow me. I will be competing next year, definitely. Like, I have to, it's just something I have to do. It's been way too long now. COVID got in the way, I've had all these excuses, blah blah blah, but now I'm in the perfect spot to go and do one and see how I come in, and if I feel like it's something I could do well at, I'll keep at it, and if not, then we'll see. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll catch you next time.